Coming in. Here we go. You know what that means. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to What's the Story with Maria. I'm Maria. This is our show. And every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we come in live. We come in live on, actually, if you're listening on the radio, you want to go and get your TuneIn app, and you will type in Armed Radio, and our show will be running live 9 p.m. Eastern, and that would be 6 West Coast time. So Richard Skipper has joined us. Ed Kutu has joined us from Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us. Suzanne Mason. Hi, Suzanne Mason. She comes in every week. We appreciate you. Peter Skolnick has joined us. And we get a bunch of, I was telling my friend Lisa, we get a bunch of regulars that will come in and join us. So again, if you want to listen to us on your TuneIn app, Armed Radio, and our show will come through. If you're on your computer and you can't watch us live, just type in armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global, and we will stream live. Beatrice Vargas has joined us. Jay Rivera has joined us. Rena Cugnali-Berge, that's my cousin. She is going to be visiting me. She's in Massachusetts. She's going to be in New York this weekend. And we're going to go see Bill Goffey at Spoon Fed NYC Friday night. So if you're on West 51st Street, 8 p.m., let's go see Bill Goffey because it's his birthday this weekend. Jeannie Craigie, she is in Massachusetts. How are you, Jeannie? Michael Vaccaro, he's in LA. Julie Cesari, she's in California. Oh my God, so many people. Kia Nelson, she's in Philly. All our regulars are in now. Okay, so I told Lisa, I said, all our regulars come up right away.
Hi, regulars.
Hi, regulars is right. And they all come in, and I just want to make sure that I acknowledge them, because where would I be without my regulars? Liz Goldenberg has joined us. Hi, Liz Goldenberg. She also has a birthday coming up, a yearly event, a huge party. So I that's going to be at, we're going to see Billy this weekend. I don't know if you know this, Liz, but it's Bill's birthday as well that night. So George Hernandez, he's in Miami. Hi, George Hernandez, and happy anniversary to you and Hector. I went to their wedding. It was 8 years ago, although they've been together 21 years. So I love those guys. Happy anniversary, my loves. David Schism has joined. Bill Young, Alexander D. Carney. He was on the show a few weeks ago. Okay.
Hi.
So we have a bunch of great people that have joined us, and we'll have more. I told Lisa I'm going to have to acknowledge my regulars, but we want to get rolling. I have Susie Campanero calling in at 9:20 and Chris DePiero calling in at 9:40, but we're going to get all this information out. David Slauson has joined us. Okay, so this is my friend Lisa Ramirez. We've been friends a long, long time, right?
Like yeah, we have.
Almost 15 years?
No. 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know.
So anyway, we've been friends, and Lisa, so it's funny when I was writing down like all her plays, because Lisa is an actor, but when I met you, you were more of an actor.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like you've written so much that it has to be, I put playwright first.
Either one.
Doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter.
I and then when I was remembering some of your plays, and then when you were telling me more, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, when I met you, I was I was in the process of writing one play, and I only meant to write one play. And now I'm on number 6.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay, so this is an important acknowledgement. He was an accidental intern in the beginning. Now he is an accidental assistant. Leo Rodriguez, also a California guy.
Okay.
He does all our promo stuff. And so anything that, like, if we want to put a website out or anything that you're working on, Leo will put the link up. So
hi, Leo.
Leo's amazing. And he's doing a show.
We have the same initials, LR.
You do. Lisa Ramirez, Leo Rodriguez. So
and EZ at the end.
Right.
Wow.
So people could confuse you. Yeah, that could happen. Look out, Leo. Get ready. All right. So let's the first play that I saw that you had written, which blew my mind, and I saw it 3 different times in 3 different theaters, is called Exit Cuckoo.
Yes.
And now you said it's called
Exit Cuckoo, Nanny, and Motherland.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can we start with that?
Yeah.
So that was your first. You only meant to write the one. Show?
Yeah. Well, I started to write that because Eve Ensler was kind of a mentor of mine when I first moved to New York, and she wrote the Vagina Monologues and many other things. A new book called The Apology, I think.
That's brand new now.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So I was complaining. I was a nanny, and I was like an actor, and I was hearing all these stories, and I said to Eve something like I should become a bartender or like a waitress, and she was like, no, 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 no. There's a reason that all these women are telling you these stories, like
The nanny
immigration
stories.
stories, nanny stories. You should listen and just write down what they're saying.
Wow.
And so that kind of just happened, and then I strung together all these stories, and then I took a writing class.
That's
Yeah.
But what I love so much about that play. It's amazing. But you play every single character.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
it's a one-woman show.
I wrote it for 3 women or 4 women, and we did the first reading of it at the Cornelia Street Cafe, which isn't there anymore.
I know.
And James Lacine and Eve came, and they were like, "This is a solo show."
Wow.
But I didn't really want it to be a solo show, just because I hadn't done a solo show, and I like to work with people.
Right.
So it ended up being a solo show, and then it was about mothers and nannies. And then James Lacine actually said, "You can't write a play about mothers and nannies without confronting your own relationship with your mother."
Wow.
And I was like, no. And then about like 6 months later, I was like, yeah, he's right. So then
Wow.
it became that.
I loved it. I loved it every single time. And every time I saw it, I thought it couldn't get better. Like when you would say to me, well, I'm relaunching it. I'm going to do it I tweaked it a little bit. I remember thinking, what could you fix? What would you? And then when I would see it, I think, wow, I didn't even think of that. Or she
Yeah.
went
And
to
there were
another
characters that I cut too. Yeah.
and added, right?
Yeah. And added. Yeah.
And wow, that was amazing. And because you are such a great actor, you're just able
Thank
to
you.
become those people and all the different accents that you did.
Yeah.
And because of that play, then is that where your activism started? Were you an activist first, or did that play turn you into even more of an activist?
No, it was happening at the same time because I started, well, actually once I got sober, somebody handed me a flyer in the park when I was nannying, and it was to a domestic workers rally, and
Wow.
that was they were happening at the same time.
While you were writing the show?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about divine intervention.
I know.
I mean, really.
I know.
So did you go to the rally?
I went to the rally, and then
How was it?
I went to the rally, and it was amazing. I was like crying and screaming, and like it was like all these women were like
Domestic
taking
women.
their careers or their lives as nannies into their own hands. They were fighting for the Bill of Rights, so
Wow.
that domestic workers, no matter what their immigration status was, that they could that labor laws would protect them.
And did it pass?
After 8 years.
Wow.
But I went up for 8 years on the buses to Albany to lobby with senators. And one of the senators called me Studs Terkel, the female Studs Terkel.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then I created a piece with the domestic workers called Invisible Women Rise. It was a grant from the Foundry Theater, and they performed it. We wrote it together. We met every Saturday for 6 months. And we wrote it together, and they performed it, and I directed it at Riverside Church.
Wow.
And then when the Bill of Rights passed, Senator Diane Savino, Italian girl.
Well, you know that my family's name is Savino.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so
Maybe you're
I've actually
related.
written to her and said, I think we might be related.
She quoted the play on the Senate floor the night it passed.
No.
Yeah. I actually have footage.
She's
of it.
really cool.
Yes. She was smoking.
She's really cool.
She was smoking in the office because somebody promised to vote. We were there for like 12 hours that day. It was, I think, in like 10 years ago now, in 2009. It was so funny. She was like smoking. She had a polka dot dress. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
she's wearing.
She's a character.
Yeah, she's a.
Well,
yeah.
you remember because you're a writer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you photograph these moments.
Yeah.
That are interesting.
Anyway, somebody reneged on the vote, and so she was pushing, and we ended up finally passing. It was the first it was the first legislation of its kind in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when that was happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just, if I missed anybody, Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin Marisa. She's in Massachusetts. Marisa, she's an activist too. She's amazing. and she's a mom, and her kids are so in tune with what's happening. They're adults now, but Paul Donnellan has joined us. David Slauson has joined us. All right. So everybody's Renee Stanley has joined us. Corey Crane. Hi, Corey. How are you, honey? He's a Libra too, I think. This is Libra season.
Libra Central.
Yeah, I believe Corey is a Libra, if I'm not mistaken. Happy birthday, Corey. Paul Bruno has joined us. Hey, Paulie. Paul's in an amazing, was in an amazing movie and web series that Chris Shapiro directed and created, and he's going to talk about that, called Gavon's Produce. It was so funny. I went to the film festival a few weeks ago, and Paul was amazing. Lisa Hall has joined us. There's Chris Shapiro now. Hi, sweetheart. And he's going to call in at 9:40. And then Jay Rivera, great actor and singer. Okay, so you did Exit Cuckoo first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you grew up in California, right?
Yeah, in Berkeley.
Okay, and that's where you started acting and started a theater group there, right?
Yeah, I started acting when I was in my 20s. I was studying psychology at San Francisco State. And then I saw Dustin Hoffman in a movie, and I decided I wanted to be an actor. I went into my mom's job crying and going, I want to be an actor. And she was like,
say?
Yeah, fine. You pay for your classes. That was sort of it. And then I started taking classes, and my teacher told me to do as many plays as I could in college to get seasoning. Wow. She called it. Yeah. And then I started working professionally, and then I started a theater, and then I moved here.
Isn't it funny how, because we started, a bunch of friends and we started a theater group too when we were about that age. It's so funny that when you're that age, you're kind of fearless. You don't even really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you just kind of do it. You have all this confidence, like, of course we could do this. And you just do. And then you look back. When I look back, because someone just recently posted pictures from that theater group, we look back and I think, how did we do that?
Yeah, and there was so much work. Crazy. There was no internet. I remember like cold calling agents in New York, literary agents, to get the plays to do in San Francisco. Like we did, I was very interested in new work. And I mean, everybody, it was so funny. Nobody really had a job. We all did everything. Right. But I was the one who was like, we got to call this person. We got to call that person. And then I ended up being for 2 years a literary director at Brava for Women in the Arts in San Francisco. And that's where I met Marie Irene Fornes. And I met all these, I was always attracted to writers.
Right.
I was always that actor in the room around the table who, if like an actor would paraphrase, I'd be like, I almost wanted to tattle like that. No, that's not what was written, so I always really valued the written word.
Where did when you took the writing class, where did you take it? In New York?
Here.
Okay.
Here. At 92nd Street Y.
Right. So it wasn't, wow. Isn't that amazing? But did it work? Did it inspire you?
Yeah.
And it gave you like a form, like a formula that you could follow?
It wasn't a form. It was a class. I purposely didn't take a playwriting class because I thought that if I took a playwriting class that a playwright could superimpose their style on me or possibly.
Okay. Well,
so I took a class with a woman, Veronica Golis, who was a poet. And she had this writing to the bone workshop. And there was a playwright, poet, a journalist, and a screenwriter. Wow. And we met once a week for like a year. Wow. And we just brought our stuff in. And she had the ability to critique. She had a great eye and a great ear that she could go cross forms.
That's amazing. Yeah. That sounds wonderful.
Then I started working with directors that worked with new playwrights. And then I just kind of learned that way.
Yeah. Wow. It seems like a lot like but I always find that classes for me, and I need to take a class. I love taking classes, but I haven't in a while, but it's just something about it like calms my crazy head and brings it
Focuses
in.
It.
Yeah. Because you know how creatives are.
Right.
Okay, Charles Caselli has joined us. Speaking of crazy head, here I go. Kimberly Cetron has joined us. Anthony Fett, hi, sweetheart. Anthony Fett's an amazing entertainer. Rebecca Tinsley, I think she's out in California. She's a comic. Charles Caselli, Dance Fever, Charles. Tony Garcia, hi, everybody. So also, now you said To the Bone. Now, Susie Campanella was going to call us at 9:20, so that's in a couple of minutes, but you also said To the Bone just now, and To the Bone is another play you wrote.
To the Bone, yeah. So the Working Theater gave the off-Broadway production of Exit Cuckoo, Nanny and Motherland. Coleman Domingo directed it, And then that was so successful that at the end, Mark Pleasant, the artistic director, asked me if I had anything else I wanted to write.
Wow.
And so I had read an article about the women who worked in poultry plants upstate, and that there was this hidden population that was basically putting food on our table. So I had this idea. We were just talking, and I said, well, I've always wanted to like take a crack at the Great American Play, like Mice and Men, like a Steinbeck play,
Right.
but with women, like Latino women.
Oh,
so he commissioned me to write to the bone, and I went up and I conducted all these interviews.
I love it. Look, I get chills when I'm remembering sitting in that audience and watching that play and how intense it was. But you were also very funny. Your character was intense. But when you said Latina, like I just giggled because you were intense in that Latina
She
way.
was and I met that woman, and she's the only one out of all the characters that I met her, and it was the same name. Like her name was Olga, and she was like the queen of this pack of like all the people like kind of lived in her house. She was the only one that had her green card. She was almost like an entertainer.
Right. And
she was kind of like that, and everybody was like would listen to her. But yeah.
Now what you just did, so your body changed.
Like that's how she was. I mean, that's how she was.
Now, I remember one of my friends years ago saying that she had taken this acting class, and when she would do a character, she would lead with a body part. Like she did just certain women that she would do. She would always lead. And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
And I think when we do like impressions of other people, like the first thing, like for me as an actor, I feel like I'm a vessel and I let that person talk through me.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of like my thing. And especially if I put on a costume.
Yeah.
It really can become that. But like I've watched you and your body changes.
Yeah, well,
it's amazing.
It's Stella. Well, there's a couple of things that I was talking to a friend today because I'm like I can imitate almost anybody, and like I was telling her a story, and I was talking about somebody, and then she was like, "Oh my God, that's just like her." But my mom used to imitate people.
Really?
Like I grew up Catholic, so after church, and then she would say, "Do so and so," like
to you.
Yeah, or to all of us. And we would imitate people or like walk like blah, blah, blah. Or my mom was also a poet. So she would like describe people. Like if she saw a man hunched over, she'd say, "Oh, look at that question mark of a man." Or like, he looks like a question mark because he's like, or so but also I studied with Stella Adler, and Stella Adler would say, pick 3 gestures or physical stances that are the characters that are not yours.
Wow.
For every character you play, pick 3, either with the way they sit, the way they move their hands, or the way they move their head, like that are not yours.
So cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I love that. Let me just check on our Susie Camp's calling in. Okay, hold on, everybody. Hi, Susie. Hang on, honey. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Hi, what's the story with Maria? What's going on?
Hi. So you know Lisa Ramirez.
Hi, Susie.
How are you? It's so nice to hear your voice.
You too.
So now, Susie, everybody knows Susie. Susie and I have done a million things together, and Susan is always doing something like amazing with fellow Geminis. But
what about Maria's always doing? What's the story with Maria?
That's right, Susie.
Maria.
Long Island Railroad.
She's on the Long Island Railroad. She's calling in. I love it. On the go. So
yeah, I'm in transit. I just got back from teaching. I've been teaching acting all day long. I teach at the Susan Batson Studio, and then I teach in Ronkonkoma in Long Island at a small little boutique studio there. I teach improvisation.
Now, Susie, I want you to talk about what's happening. You got 2 big things coming up. You have missing person.
November 2nd.
No, okay, tell us about that.
November 2nd, I'm going to be doing my one-person musical that is written, the book by me and the music and lyrics by Lynn Fortis, our dear friend. It's called Missing Persons. It's going to be at ART New York Theaters on Saturday night, November 2nd, 8 o'clock, 53rd and 10th.
Okay.
we are part of the Dare to Be
Oh, yeah.
Different festival that Amos is doing, Amos Musical Theater. So we're the featured show.
Now, Susie, I got to tell you, Leo is so amazing. Thank you, Leo. You're the best. Leo already posted the link to Missing Person.
Because Leo is like the godsend of all godsends. And Leo Rodriguez, you're just a sprite of sprites. And we all can't wait for Leo's show.
I know. Leo's show is November 4th, Monday at 7 p.m. at the Duplex. I'm actually directing it, and we were working on it today. It's so good and fun.
And there's a second date.
Yeah, and then December 4th at the Duplex. It's a Monday. So Leo will also, if you would, Leo, post your link as well to your show. That would be amazing. I know a lot of our friends are going to it. It's gonna be just great. And Leo's from California.
And then what's really also exciting is November 3rd. We have the Who's Better Than You Club with Maria.
No, the No Matter What, Susie.
Oh God, yeah, messed it up. Everyone who's coming is in the Who's
We always say that. Who's
Club.
better than you? Right. But it's the No Matter
So
What
that's
Club.
The people that are
The
coming.
No Matter What Club.
The No Matter What Club, hosted by the two people who are on the Who's Better Than You Club. So this film is a labor of love. It's a film, a Christopher film, November 3rd at 5 o'clock. We're screening at the Village East Cinema on 12th and 2nd for the Real Recovery Film Festival. And I have to say that Maria and I were in LA.
Yeah.
And we both were wondering if anybody would laugh at our stuff. And you know what? We got some laugh.
Yep, we did.
I can't wait to see it.
Lisa's going to come see it too.
Well, Lisa, please. I can't
know.
wait. I still can picture you on stage in your nanny show.
Yep, we were just talking about that. Did you
I
see
can picture
her?
you right in my mind right now.
Did you see the other one she did called To the Bone? We were just talking about that. It was at the Cherry
No, I
Lane.
did
I think
not.
we went together. We might have gone together, or maybe Rue. Maybe I went with
We
Rue.
probably did.
Yeah.
You're so amazing, Lisa.
Thank you. So are you. I remember watching you and Maria at the Duplex. That
The
show.
B
with
is Broke show.
Oh my God.
Remember that, Susie?
Yeah, well, we're working on something new for 2020.
Okay.
That will be
we've written
us together on
3/4
stage.
of it. Yeah.
But I was thinking about Maria and I from when the old days when we used to do Leader of the Pack. I don't know who came up with that idea, but we were well known for our Leader of the Pack.
Yeah, we'll
Remember
always
those
do something
days?
crazy. Always.
Something crazy.
Always. Well, Susie, I want to thank you for calling in, honey, and I wanted people to get the info for a missing person, and so Leo's posted it up. So if you, I saw it, it was incredible. I got to tell the truth, I was expecting just to laugh and see Lavinia do what Lavinia does, but this play is a whole other level because there's original music. You wrote a whole book, and there's a real backstory, and I loved it. I really did.
Oh,
I love that
well, I look
ART
forward
space.
to it.
The ART
I
space.
I love it. Yeah, I did a play there last year.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I really haven't seen it yet. I'm
It's
very
great.
excited.
It's
Well,
great.
Lisa, you're always so busy. You live the life I want to live. Well, I mean, we're doing it.
We're all doing it. We're all doing it. I
And
hope.
just
Hopefully, we'll
putting
be
it
able
out
to
there.
We'll do something together. The three of us could play. We could
Oh
do
my
a
God! Can you
crazy
imagine?
version of
Oh,
the.
that would be a dream.
Couldn't we do a crazy version of the Three Sisters? But it would be our version.
That would be
We could
Oh,
amazing.
that would be a
sisters.
dream.
That would be amazing.
Listen,
Okay, you heard it
the way
here.
I see it, the way I see it, what's this life about except for to do what we want to be happy, right?
I know.
Exactly.
That's it. We are living a
I'm
great
thinking
life.
web series.
I'm so excited about the Sunday screening because it will be celebrating Maria's 30th year
This week.
miracle
Thank you,
walking.
Susie. This Thursday is my 30-year sober
Yeah.
anniversary. I'm very proud of that.
30 years.
I know. Well, we celebrated
what a
in
wonderful
LA.
gift.
It was fun. All right,
Yeah.
honey. I'm gonna have
Well, I
Kristen
love you
Piro's
guys.
gonna call in too, so I can't wait, and he'll talk about all the
That's
stuff.
amazing.
So I'm excited, and I'm so proud of you, and I love you.
I love you. Sending love from the Long Island Railroad.
All right.
Ah!
I love it.
Bye,
There's a title of a
Susie.
play. Love
Deer
from you.
Park.
All right, sweetheart. I love you so much.
Bye.
Bye, baby.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Susie Campanero. This girl does not stop. I'm telling you. I love it.
She's so funny.
But you know what it's like, what we were talking about? Those are gifts of sobriety. Like, and that's one of the things we mention in the No Matter What Club, like in the movie, is like getting sober is its own reward.
Yes.
You know, when
Yes.
it's like there's no prize at the prize at the end is that you get to live this amazing life that you can remember.
Exactly.
So, oh my God, right? So let me go back. I know I'm missing a lot of people. David Foley Jr., hi, sweetheart. He is amazing actor and singer. He's in Les Mis right now, touring, and he has the most beautiful family, and he takes them with him. It's great.
Oh, how
Felix
great.
Goose is joined us. Rachel Charles, hi, sweetheart. Long time no see. Britta, you remember Britta? She is
Britta,
joined.
yeah.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you? So lots of great people have joined us. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I might have missed someone. Okay, so let's Roberta MacGyver.
Oh, Roberta, hi.
Hi, sweetheart. Wonderful actress and now teacher and coach. Michael Bradley has joined us. Look who I have here, Roberta. All right, so Lisa, we got to To the Bone. Now you talked about the art of memory, which I don't think I ever saw. So what was that about?
It was a dance theater piece. A company commissioned me to write. It was about how women process memory.
Now, if someone commissions you to write something, how do they approach you? What do they say? They say they're the artistic director?
Yeah, it was this woman named Tanya Calamanieri, another
Oh, I love
Italian
it.
girl. She had a company. She has a company. It's called So Go No.
Okay.
And they asked me, they told me they had this idea for a dance theater piece, but they wanted me to write the dialogue
Wow.
and be in it.
Wow.
So basically it was like I played this mad woman who lived in a kind of like an attic / like on stilts made with books, and I played a librarian, and they lived under the house. They were they were the chorus of stories. Wow. So it was crazy. It was this house that was like this, and then they opened it like a book, and then I started with the stories, and they did all this movement. It was
And
a
you
really
wrote
cool
it.
piece. Yeah.
Amazing.
And I wrote it, yeah. And we did that, and that won a bunch of awards, and that was really fun. It was just like a big experiment, but it was fun.
But it was a good. But
Yeah.
but isn't that what we do? Like we just take chances.
So
It's like,
yeah,
what's the worst that can
exactly.
happen? It doesn't
And
work.
I didn't go to grad school, so every one of these projects I've treated like grad school.
It is. That's what you're doing.
Did you work with people that are like, at first working with dancers was very weird. It was like working with a different country.
Oh,
So
I bet.
I would be there with all my dialogue and my words, and they would be stretching. And I would be like, I would go home. At the time I was married, and I'd go home and I'd say, fucking dancers, all they want to do is stretch and move around. And they were probably going home and saying, all she cares about is words. But eventually we found like a language where we were able to collaborate.
Well, the interesting thing is that it's both. It's expression. Both of
Yeah.
it is expression, and it's the way that you see fit to express yourself creatively.
Yeah, but also my brother was a dancer. So I've
Right.
always had this element of dance in each of my plays. Like into the Bone, there was like gestures that were repetitive that were in the poultry plant.
Right.
It was dance. In Exit Cuckoo, I have like a dance with the stroller.
Now,
And
was that inspired by your
Yeah.
brother watching him growing up? And
Yeah, because he was an
ballet
amazing, he was
dancer,
a
right?
ballet dancer, yeah. And then I wrote a play about him.
and tell us about that play.
That play was part of the Cherry Lane Mentor Project. It was called Pas de Deux, Lost My Shoe, because I lost my brother to addiction. And so the premise was that, and I'm also sober. And so the premise is that I take ballet to kind of retrace his steps.
Wow, Jesus.
And
that's
so
intense.
it was intense, but it was also like, it starts out
beautiful.
funny because like I'm in a big tutu. I had a whole prima ballerina outfit on. And the first line is like, I hate ballet. I fucking hate it. And I talk about how much I
Love it.
hate ballet, and that, you can't eat and you can't talk and all the things that I like to do.
Right.
And then it kind of ends with, but I love my brother. And my brother was a
Oh.
ballet dancer. And so that was just like,
Did you while you were doing it or after you did it, what was the best connection to your brother? While you were in the play, or while you were writing it, or after? Did you feel him?
Oh yeah, but I feel him all the time.
Yeah,
Because
you were
I had
really tight.
Yeah, I had terrible stage fright, and so did he. Like we used to be like, oh god. And then the thing is, like after my brother died, his name was Sean. My stage fright went away.
Really?
So in everything I do, like I was just in Angels in America at Berkeley Rep last year.
Yeah, that's
I played
right.
the angel,
Wow.
and I had him like right in here because it was like,
wow.
So I always feel him.
That's
in
amazing.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That's beautiful and that's really powerful. And I saw pictures of you in Angels in America. I wish I'd seen that.
That was fun. That happened at the last minute. The angel got sick.
Really?
And then I was like the angel. Yeah. And Steven Spinella.
I wonder if Sean had anything to do with that.
Probably.
I mean, come on.
Like flying. I was like, oh my God. But Steven Spinella played Roy Cohen, and he was the original Prior in the original Angels in America on
Which
Broadway.
I saw.
So did
I saw it on the same day. I saw the matinee, part 1.
Yes.
And the
Perestroika. So
part
did I.
2 at night.
So
it was incredible.
To watch him play Roy Cohen after playing Prior or all those years before, it was like,
wow.
He's one of my favorite actors ever. I had like such an actor admiration crush. I would watch his scenes backstage I was like I'm in kindergarten, like just kind of like.
Yeah, but isn't that wonderful?
He's such a master.
But see, those are gifts. Those are gifts that we
Yes.
get. If we keep, I named the show purposely Blood, Sweat, and Follow Through because, it's so funny. I run into people all the time that's maybe had started off with doing what we do and just said, oh, I can't do this life. It's like, or they just decided it just wasn't for them for whatever reason, stage fright.
Right.
Mostly it's financial. And most people just, can't take the rejection or whatever. And or people will say like, how did you stay in it? How do you do it?
I know.
And I was thinking about that today because you're the same, you're exactly like that.
Yeah.
Since I've known you, like you just keep going. And it's like, keep going and going.
And is that no matter
and this
what.
bag, like I think of you like with this bag of, now you have more stuff in it that you've created and it was part of your life. And it's just like, and you're just, there you go. And you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And yet it looks so difficult from our perspective. And I'm sure it's difficult from yours, but then the rewards are like, you have this bag of things you've done.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like I have a friend who's like very dear to me, and he is in LA now and doing very well, but has probably been at it for 40 something years. I've been at it for 35 years. And it's like sometimes like on good times and bad times, it's like we laugh and we're like, this is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not at all.
And like I've been to like reunions or funerals or weddings or whatever over the years, and it's just never dawned on me to stop. It never dawned on me to stop. I
couldn't agree with you
I
more.
see people and I'm like, they're like, oh, like they're either like a secretary or like they decided to become a lawyer or they're married with all these kids.
Corporate real estate, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Good, yeah.
And they're kind of like, wow, you're still doing it. Like, I can't imagine not doing it.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't do it. For me, like this life catches up with it not catches up. It's like, I feel like I was always running out like in such a fast speed, and this life like has caught up to my crazy.
Oh, that's
so that
cool.
like when I'm in the, which is all the time because that's what I do, I feel so calm.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas if I was in the corporate world, which I have,
oh my God, I would go
or
mad.
when I was doing, I would
go mad. I would go mad.
So this life is for me.
Same.
But that's why I named it Blood, Sweat, and Follow Through, because that's what it takes.
We're at a really good time right now, though, too. Like I don't know why I got caught in this vortex of YouTube, like, and I was like, it started with Judy Garland, and then I ended up like watching the final days of Marilyn Monroe. I don't know. It's just like, it was that kind of.
So you do that. Yeah. I'll do
every
that with
night,
music
the
sometimes.
vortex. I do that with music too. But anyway, they were talking about Marilyn Monroe, like that one of those too young to die, or whatever.
Right.
They were talking about like 36 years old, and she was getting up there in age. Like for me, 36 is like, I wasn't even getting started. Like now,
absolutely.
Like we're at a time now when to be like a woman of color, or a woman like over 50 or over 40, that's like an asset.
Yeah.
It's like our asset to be like, because we used to be considered like Italian or like Latina,
Yep.
Irish or whatever, like we're like ethnic or like
Right.
exotic, and now we're just like it's like our time.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Thank you for saying that.
Like
That makes
and
me.
like I look at people like Jill Soloway and people that are like making things like Ava DuVernay or like like that are women over a certain age. Like I mean, look at what is it, Grace and Frankie?
I love that show. One of my
Like that would be unheard of.
my
even 10
friend
years
Rich
ago.
Campbell, his beautiful wife Jackie writes for that show.
Oh, cool.
She's great. She's
Yeah.
an amazing writer. She writes for a lot of shows. I think she wrote for The Good Wife too. But
That show, Better Things. Have you seen it?
I love
Isn't
that
she
show.
great?
Yeah.
The character's 53. Like the main woman is 53. So that I'm very excited about.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Wow,
No,
that's-
I mean, I don't know if she is. She might be older than that, but the character's 53.
is, yeah.
And it's not like, it's not like 40, even 10 years ago. 40 was
Well, let me tell you
considered older
something,
on
and
TV.
I remember turning 40 was this. I mean, there were so many scary moments in my life, but that I got through. But that was I cried for 6 months leading up to 40.
See, I
don't
always
know why.
wanted to be 40.
Real well.
Yeah.
When I met you, remember I called you Anna Magnani. I said
Anna
you
Mag-
remind me of one of my favorite actresses, Anna Magnani.
Anna
'Cause she
Magnani.
was so
All I cared
intense.
about was Anna Magnani. You know what? Anna Magnani slaps. Have you noticed that Anna Magnani slaps somebody in every scene that she does?
Yeah, you know what?
I
love it.
have my Anna Magnani hair
If
tonight.
you don't know who Anna Magnani is, kids, it's spelled ANNAMAG.
GNANI.
Anna Magnani,
gotta
she's an
look up
Italian
Anna
actress.
Magnani.
She was in The Rose Tattoo.
She's the only woman that Brando was ever afraid of.
I believe it.
I think she bit his tongue or something in a scene.
Yeah,
She's one of the
she's-
greatest, and that's like not her like claim to fame, but like she's one of the greatest actresses that ever lived.
Oh, she
Ever.
really is. And I loved when she would get angry. That was my favorite.
She was
would
one of
be
those people that was like beautiful, and then 2 seconds later so ugly, and then beautiful
on the
like
ground,
just like
grabbing, right?
yeah, great.
Yeah, I used to do a thing like a kind of I guess in a stand-up, but when I talked about her, like that she was always being grabbing some guy's leg and dragging through. Right, she'd go from like powdering her nose to dragging through.
Yeah,
Just that intensity. But I love that, and I love that
you
you're
can
right.
look her
This
up
is
on
okay.
YouTube. She's
Yeah,
one
Anna
of the
Magnani.
best actresses.
Oh, you remember
ever.
I think you put something on my page when she was crossing the street with her kids. Remember that one
Yeah.
in Rome?
Oh yeah,
When they're trying to cross the street, they're
and all the
coming-
cars are going by, and she's like, "Wah."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, all right, I want to cover some more of this stuff. So, what's down here below? Tell me
Oh,
about
down
that.
here below, I wrote for a company that I'm a member of and I work with, and they're a company very dear to my heart. They're called Ubuntu Theater Project in Oakland. They're currently
And
doing
how do you spell that? Because that's
UBUNTU, Ubuntu Theater Project.
okay.
And they commissioned me to write a play called Down Here Below. It was an adaptation of Maxine Gorky's The Lower Depths, which was written in Russia. And it was about these down and outers. And it was, some call it the birth of naturalism in Russia. And Stanislavski directed it.
Wow.
And so I adapted it to modern day, to a homeless encampment in Oakland.
Unbelievable.
And I went into homeless encampments in Oakland, and I worked with activists in Oakland, and I created this 22 character play. I wrote it for the company members, and we did it in a site specific location in Oakland in May.
Wow.
And it was great. It was great. We had post show forums
That's
but 22
amazing.
actors. It was insane and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so it sounds to me like you've done this for almost all of it. You go into the actual
I know. It's
arena.
kind of happened that way.
arena where and now for you as a writer, do you feel that the nanny thing, you already were in it,
Right.
and
right.
somebody said, well, you're doing that,
Yeah.
and you should but do you when you want to write something or you're commissioned to do something, do you say, okay, let me go and spend a few days, or how do you approach that?
No, it's usually like a 2-year period.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your whole life changes depending on what you're writing,
Right.
and you immerse yourself
And now I want to adapt to the bone for the screen, or like I want to do a
I
limited
hope that
series.
you do.
Yeah. And then, but then I'm written a play called All Fall Down, which is
All Fall Down.
my version of, it's a memory play. It's not, I didn't immerse myself in anything but my life. It's like basically my version of like The Glass Menagerie was Tennessee Williams' memory play, kind of
Yeah.
autobiographical. That one's mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
All Fall Down. Okay, Chris DePiero, are you out there? Would you call in, please, sir, so we can talk about your movies? I think maybe he's waiting for me to call him, but Chris, if you're listening, I think you are. Please call in.
Oh.
So we got. Let me see who else has checked in. Michael Woolley, our friend Michael Woolley. Thank you, Michael's. By the way, Michael was gracious enough. I stayed with Michael while I was in LA, while we were at the film festival, and what he spoiled me rotten. So thank you, Michael.
Did you have fun in LA?
I did. I find LA very different.
What part of LA were you in?
Toluga Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mike, that's where Michael lives, and then it was close to everything we needed to do. And I like my friends there, and I love California. I think it's beautiful, and I've driven down the Pacific Coast Highway, me and Judy, and it was. I just like find it so. There's a loneliness there. I can't put my finger on it. Whereas in New York, I could literally leave here and be on the subway, and I'm around people.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah. I get that.
You know,
San Francisco's
it's different.
kind of like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like when we went out in San Francisco, there are the
Did you go to North Beach in San Francisco?
yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like these little
Italian
restaurants
section.
and places,
Yeah.
and you know, so that was really cool. But I'm not knocking LA. I just find
It's spread
it's
out.
different for me. I feel like on the outside, and I haven't figured out how to navigate my way. I did speak at a meeting.
The
which
flowers
was cool.
are so pretty there.
Oh, so much is so
Yeah.
pretty there. I mean, and when I just look outside, like I was on Michael's kind of veranda, I just can't believe the weather is so beautiful.
I know.
And I just feel like, oh, I'm like in America now. Like instead of just in a city, I'm like outside.
Yeah,
And it's beautiful
yeah.
and people are walking by. So Adrian Weinberg has joined us. Lisa Yeager. Hi, Lisa Yeager, great singer. Mike Callahan has joined us. Who else? Mark Buzinich has joined us. Hi, Andrea. How are you, honey? Savina Marston, she's joined us. She's my cousin in Massachusetts. Okay, let me see. Who else? Michael Bradley. Chris DePiero, I'm going to try to call him. Maybe sometimes when people call, they're not getting through because I want to. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? There he is. Oh, my God. Chris, call in. I'm going to do the part of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. You got to do it with me. Ready?
Okay.
Go ahead, keep eating.
eating.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, so Lisa and I are both on the keto diet. So I made a keto-friendly meal for us.
Look at that.
Look at this. So this is just some of it. I have a ton in the kitchen. So what I did was, and I had to write it down because I'll forget. I'm like at that age where I forget everything that I did. So let me see. I marinated shrimp in ginger, sesame, basil, avocado oil, lime, scallions, garlic, and sesame oil. And then I sauteed red peppers and shallots. Yes, so that's what's in that. Doesn't that look divine?
That does look
So
divine.
we're going to have that, and we're going to put it over the salad, or maybe put the salad on the side. And here is our salad. Look at this beautiful salad.
Oh my god.
Look at that, right?
I see the avocado.
I got avocado. I have delicious, the small grapevine tomatoes. They're really sweet and beautiful. I have one of my favorite things, which is red cabbage. I love
Yeah,
it.
same.
This is red cabbage and green cabbage and red leaf lettuce. So what I'm going to do with this is just a plain balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil because I got so many other spices and that other thing. So that's what I have. Now, I always have to have dessert, but since we're on keto, I got to tell you, and this is no advertisement for the company because anybody told me to. This is my dessert when I'm on keto, and I recommend them. These are Atkins. They're great. These are Atkins, like little dessert bars. So here's it's like a Reese's piece, Reese's cup. It's great. This one I love as well, and this is my favorite taste, just like a Mounds bar. So if you're trying to like stay on keto, I highly recommend these because I'm like a sugar junkie.
The Quest cookies are good too.
I don't know Quest cookies.
And I put them in the microwave.
Yeah.
And I put a little like pat of butter on them.
What?
I should have
Where
brought.
do you get Quest cookies? I don't know this
You
Quest.
get
Oh, there's Chris.
Quest cookies. At,
Hold that thought. Hold that
GNC.
thought. Hi, Chris DePiero. Are you there, honey? Hold on. Let me put you on speaker.
I'm here.
All right,
Okay.
sweetie. I was worried. I said, where did he go? What happened?
I'm watching the whole show, and then of course I turn away for a second, and next thing I know, it's 9:47.
I know that's what happens. That's what happens. Listen, I was
so
telling
sorry.
Lisa all about you, and all you guys would just get along so well.
Hi,
So
Lisa.
Hi.
and
Hi.
so Chris is a filmmaker. He's made many films, and now Gavon's Produce we went to see last month, I think it was.
Yes.
Are you
on the great Paulie Bruno?
Yes, who was hysterical. I loved it. Now, are you starting up again, Chris? You got that going again?
Yes, we are shooting first episode of season 2 sometime between Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Okay, great.
So we'll set that up, and hopefully you'll be part of it.
I would love, I told you I'd do anything you ever need me to do. I've been in a couple of Chris's movies. And Lisa told me earlier that she's also available if you ever need a.
Yeah.
Yes. We take all of our friends.
That's what he does. He puts all his friends in movies. It's
That's
amazing.
Mary Cassavetes.
Is that true?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow,
Thank
I
you.
didn't
That's
realize
beautiful.
that. Well, that's Chris. Let me tell you something. Chris takes the whole busload of buddies with him. It's like I can't tell you. He just jams people in these movies. But so Chris, I was telling Lisa also about the No Matter What Club, and how would you call that guerrilla filmmaking?
Yeah, I would. Yes, absolutely. No plans. Just let's meet up, get in the car, drive to Jersey, and let's see what happens. And no permits, no permission from anybody. I don't think we asked anybody anything. We just went out and shoot, and we went to 4 or 5 different restaurant locations with the great Susan Campanero.
Oh my God!
And
I can't wait to see it.
It's pretty
it's
fun.
hilarious. It's 40 minutes of just hilarity and heartfelt time. Celebrating 28 years of sobriety. I mean, I can't imagine.
It was
I
Susie.
can't imagine.
I know. I have 30
Right.
years this month.
Thursday.
Maria, it's unbelievable. I can't say how proud I am of you to do so. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
Well, you know what,
And,
honey? I mean, seriously, I know when people say like one day at a time and they think that's a joke, but that's really all it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? You work in the business, though. You're in the bar business. And
Yeah, I am in the bar business.
Your willpower and Susan too. You guys are just exceptional.
Yeah, well, thank you, honey. So are you, and I love you. And so are you going to be at
that's
the?
what the movie's about. That's what the movie's about.
Yeah, it's about friendship.
Celebrating. Yeah.
So now you also teach, right?
I do. I teach film and television in New Jersey in beautiful Hudson County.
Yep. And you're doing great things with your kids.
Yeah, they're really talented and funny. They're winning national awards in film. The great Greg Askeles is a film instructor there. Rob Meyer is in the system too.
Oh my God,
And,
they were so funny in your movie too. Jesus,
they're
got,
just naturals,
They're great, but that's what I love about your movies. What
Right.
you manage to do is just really capture, like all your actors just are, because you make people feel relaxed. Because I've been on the other end of the camera with you. You just let people do what they do. You give them ideas, or you'll say, we're going to shoot it from here. I need you to come out of there or reshoot that. But then you just let people be. And because they're so comfortable, all this great work comes out.
You know what? If I think it's funny, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I would give them the actors' notes if I had to, but they know what they have to produce, and they know what I want from them, basically.
Yeah, and you also
it's just be themselves, be their hilarious selves. Don't go over the top. Be real, and let's have fun.
And you also, though, you get it done in record time, right?
Well, well, that's because I'm fortunate enough to be an editor, a video editor, and I know how to turn over stuff. And having people like Lynn Ford in my life.
God, I know. And
I mean,
the genius Lynn Portis. Lynn Portis scored Gavon's Produce, and she also scored Miami or Bust, a Hoboken.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's
Yeah,
amazing. So Lynn,
and
we have like a family. We're a family of artists that kind of we travel in a caravan almost. Like we just help each other out.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. It's a great network, and I owe it all to Tony and Tina's wedding.
Yeah, that's
and
where we met.
Of Tony and Tina's wedding, especially.
I remember that when that was in San Francisco.
Oh, it was in San Francisco too, because Lisa's from San Francisco originally.
I love that.
And you know who? Mark Nasser, who's a great friend of Chris's,
Right.
who has also been in a lot of his stuff. is from San
Yeah.
Francisco, and you guys would get along. Oh my God, I have to connect you to Mark Nasser
Okay.
because he
Oh,
writes a
he-
lot of stuff out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
he
he
does
just
a lot of stuff. He just did a big interactive show, the Compton riots, and
Oh.
it's just I think it was like a speakeasy. I'm not
yeah,
sure
the
the whole
speakeasy
story,
he
but
did.
It was a speakeasy scene, and he loves it. He lives for stuff like that. for
Yeah, well,
interactive
that's how
theater.
that's how we all are, Chris. We were talking about this. Me,
Right.
you, Susie, Lisa, Mark, like all these people. Like that's the life we live, and
Right.
we might not be rich, but we're so happy, and that's like I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Me either. I mean, just to know people like you guys and make it easy for people like me to do stuff. I don't even have to worry about auditioning anybody. I just call people up.
I
You
know, and there's so much more to do. We have so much to do. I can't wait.
It is. I know. We do.
All right, honey.
It's,
Well, what else you got going on that you want to tell people about so I can we can post anything? Else?
Listen, the one thing is November 2nd, the No Matter What Club being screened in New York, effing City.
I know. So that's a Chris
Did you like how I
DePiero
said
film.
effing? Did you like how I said effing?
Yeah, I love that. That was really
Okay,
good.
yeah.
That was
was a
really.
good
You
film.
edit it yourself because
That was
every
a good
time
film.
Chris is on the show, we get an explicit. Well, it's usually
Oh.
Susie though. Yeah.
I think I might have said.
Yeah,
that.
we already have an explicit, but that's okay. I like it when it goes into
Well,
podcast.
I learned it. It was only my 100th time on the show, so.
I know, but
But,
he was on my very first show, and this is episode 118.
Whoa.
And Chris was my first
Yeah,
guest
yeah.
ever. You and
Yeah.
Susie Davis. All right, honey. Well, listen.
Right. So the screening is the Real Recovery Film Festival. Hope everybody can make it. You guys were awesome in it, and I can't wait to work with you again, Maria. I love
Yeah. Oh, me
Thank
too,
you.
honey. It's going to be so. We're going to have so much fun. All right. So November 2nd, 5 p.m. The East
Uh-huh.
Village Cinemas, 2nd Avenue and 12th Street.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to have so much
Come
fun.
on.
I can't wait. I know it's the real deal, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love you, honey.
All right.
Thank you for calling
I
in.
love you
Okay.
too. Thank you, and go Yankees.
Oh well, I'm sorry about what happened the other night.
Easy. I don't know. I guess it's a bad connection. I gotta go.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just started to crack up.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Oh my God, he's so. We're rivals, the Yankees and the Red Sox,
Oh,
and
that's
so we have this thing going
right.
on. And, so we kind of
Yeah,
pick
the
on each other.
Yankees didn't do very well.
No,
there.
that's
Well,
okay. Which was
not
just
that
fine
they
with me.
didn't do well, but they just didn't win.
Well, the Astros, sometimes that happens, are a better team. But all right, Janet Betta has joined us. Frank Skillern has joined us. Who did I miss? Anybody else? I hope I didn't miss. People at the end of the show, then you go back and you read all this great stuff that people have posted. And my cousin Gina usually pops on, and I didn't see her this time. So anyway, Gina Savino, she's fantastic.
Oh, Savino, the Savino.
Yeah, the
Savino
Savino
factor.
Right, the Savino factor. There it is with Diane Savino,
Savino,
who is the senator from Staten Island that you know.
Oh my God, she was the champion of that bill.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Like when I watch her, I'll YouTube her sometimes and watch her speak. She's amazing. So okay, now let me see how much time because we have like literally 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
Yeah, so I think so. Jimmy, how much time do we have? He'll come up. 3.5.
3.5 minutes.
All right. So now what are you working on right now that you're
Right
going
now,
towards?
I'm writing a pilot. I'm writing a television show.
okay? You can't talk about it though, right? I don't want to. I'm not going to make you. No. But you're writing a television pilot. How deep are you in there?
I'm deep.
Halfway?
No, I'm almost finished.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I-
And I've had a couple meetings and got some great interest, and hopefully it'll be happening in the next year or two.
Okay, great. So that's it. Now you don't normally write for television, do you?
No, but TV's so good now.
I know it really is, isn't it?
Thank God for all these cable stations, and there's so much
Yeah,
content.
remember
There's
for a
like
long
Apple TV, A24,
Prime.
Netflix, Amazon, I already said Apple TV, but HBO, Showtime,
Hulu,
Stars,
right.
Hulu.
There is so much good. We were just talking earlier. You like that show, A Good Place, right? No,
it's
that's
all
not the
right.
one.
No,
What
no.
were we talking about? The one we were talking about. Oh, Frankie and
Well, that
Grace
better
and Frankie.
things,
Better Things, right.
things, Transparent,
Grace and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie.
Jane Fonda got arrested a few times in a
I
row.
know.
Isn't she the
and
best?
So did Sam Waterston.
Oh yeah, they were together, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
What are the other shows?
There's
that
so
are-
many good shows.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that Modern Love is great on Amazon. It just came
Right.
out this week.
And Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
a that
No,
I
no,
like
no.
that. But there's so much stuff.
Fleabag.
Fleabag I haven't seen, but everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah.
lot of that's the thing. There's something for everybody.
Well, and there's like the great thing now is that people are creating writing and starring in, and a lot of women
Really?
are
So
doing
that's
that.
more than ever.
It's like Fleabag won Best Actress and Best Writing this year. Like
Wow.
it's like we're at a time when
And that's British, right? Is that British?
yeah,
Fleabag?
she's
Okay.
British. Yeah.
She's British.
But it
well,
started with a one-person show, and then she got
Really?
a deal with Amazon. She's also the writer of Killing Eve.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
There's so
She's-
much good stuff. So you're right. You know
Yeah.
what? You just gave me like so much hope. I mean, I usually have a lot of hope, but it's so nice to be injected with more like wind in your sails. Right now is our time.
It's our time. We're lucky.
And
We're
it's
so lucky.
time for people like the Krista Piros of the world who are like filmmakers that are like, yeah, I'm going to help my friends, or let's just grab a camera and go.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
exactly. And
And
there
I
are so
love
many
that.
playwrights that are writing for television now. There are agents that are like helping playwrights transition to television because they need.
What do you
great
think?
writers.
Okay, so you've done it both. What and poetry and all that. What and the dance pieces. What is the challenge from going from play to screenwriting? Well, for you, what was it?
It's easier.
Is it really? Because the scenes can be.
They're
it's all-
shorter. They're 33 pages.
33 pages
I mean, you
is
have-
an episode,
Is an episode.
right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. There's just a different, less dialogue, more description. But like being a playwright is probably the hardest thing. Like I jumped into the deepest thing.
I
Like,
can, yeah. I would
you're
think so.
alone. You write. I mean,
And you have to hear all these different voices of characters. Now, do you have do you split them up? Do you have index cards that you have for each?
every time I do it, it's different.
It's-
Like
wow.
I'll fall down. I drew the set before I started writing dialogue.
Okay.
Sometimes it's all different. It's all different.
Fascinating.
Yeah, everyone is different.
Okay. So
I have no system.
now, do you ever have other people doing your plays? Like,
They did Exit Cuckoo in Ireland. With
Really?
like 3 different women. All Fall Down is a play that I wouldn't be in.
All right, we gotta go.
Okay,
Yay.
okay, Jimmy. So that's it. Thank you, Jim Bell. Thank you, Armed Radio. Thank you, Joe Savino.
Thank you.
We
thank you.
appreciate you guys. Come back 9 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday here. Thank you. This is Maria. This is Lisa.
Thank
and we'll see you next
you.
week.
Thank you, Maria.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.